These comic pros really can't help themselves. They are absolutely crazy, and they have reduced themselves into these echo chambers on Threads and Blue Sky now, where they just say the most batshit things that I could never even imagine uttering. Now, Ben Templesmith is calling for violent insurrection in the United States. He, of course, has 30 Days of Night with IDW Publishing. Hasn't really done a lot that people are aware of in recent years because, I don't know, kind of fell off. But this is still somebody that, is tied with IDW, tied with the mainstream industry, and is doing this kind of thing again, as we've seen it over and over again from the Heather Antos and Mark Waid types. I'm actually surprised to see Templesmith do this. This is pretty wild. We'll get into this news in just a moment. Smash that like and subscribe button, everybody, as we talk about all things in comics and the culture here. I am a comic creator myself. We just hit 450 backers on our Emerald Array science fiction graphic novel. This is awesome stuff. Thank you guys for the tremendous support. This is a big W. I'm very happy to hit 450 backers. And we are done with the book. It is in demand right now, so it is going to be here until we are ready to print and hit that print button. Once I get my proof copy and run the final print run, we will be closed forever. So don't miss this. 66 pages of Space Marine action. It's in the description below. Thank you guys so much for supporting us and crushing it for us. Really appreciate you being there and appreciate you for being a reader of all things. Gosh. And whether you're left or right, I want you to read my books. I just got to say that, my friends. This is very wild. But leftists in the comic industry have gotten incredibly rabid since they've retreated to echo chambers where comic book fans can't call them on their insanity. Now, IDW Publishing's artist Ben Templesmith, the creator of 30 Days of Night, has called for Americans to use violence to incite an insurrection. Comic book professionals have said a lot of unhinged things over the last several years, and the industry has become a whisper network of extreme leftist politics with blacklisting of any creator who even hints at being supportive of conservative or Christian values. During the election, DC Comics writer Mark Waid threw such a fit, he said he doesn't even believe in the basic goodness of his fellow Americans, and he cannot write superheroes any longer as a result. While he's said a number of unhinged things in the past, including cheering on the assassination attempt of Donald Trump earlier in the election cycle, he exemplifies a lot of the extreme rhetoric that's been thrown around the comic book industry. And if you don't believe me, here it is. This is what happened when Donald Trump got hit. This is what these people did. Heather Antos, our good friend here, was calling him Emperor Palpatine, like he should have been assassinated. Mark Waid says, pray that the shooting was wearing an RFK Jr. t-shirt. If you're just tuning in, some effing idiot with shitty eyesight just clinched the election for Trump. Oh my gosh. They swear up a storm, don't they? So the lousy eyesight, I guess, is the problem, not the fact that, an unhinged person was shooting a presidential candidate. You want to talk about basic human goodness, Mark? It's pretty much a failure of your basic human goodness there. Yes, Heather Antos went crazy after the election as well. And she called for men to sterilize themselves to help depopulate America as a result. You can't make up how insane these people are. Dear men, you really want to be an ally to women right now? Go get a vasectomy. That's right. Don't reproduce. Very, very weird that these people act this way. And, I don't see this kind of thing so much in any other industry. Really, comics is the worst of it. These people are unhinged. And I really do think it is because of the whisper networks that are inside this, that it's such a small industry. They just invite their friends, and their friends invite their friends. And nobody has any talent among these people. What they end up doing all the time is just getting more politically extreme and more politically extreme. And then they don't even have like a basis for reality for where they're at. That's why they can't write good books, right? Because when you're writing Vulcans in Star Trek and you've got a Vulcan with a shaved head lecturing people on they, them pronouns, you just are losing the plot of what Star Trek's supposed to be about, which is exploring strange new worlds. They never said explore strange new genders. That was not a thing. So they can't write good books. They can't have fun with things, and it's all because of their weird, unhinged behavior with their own little social media pals that ends up in the books. And their books read like their tweets. Not tweets anymore because perish the thought of being on Elon's platform. But gosh, this is what they do in other platforms. I thought these were supposed to be better platforms, right? Nicer platforms. So Ben Templesmith today posted this on Threads. And you can see 174 likes. Wow. I mean, this is the people who follow him. Hey, America, don't you have a bunch of guns and constantly talk about needing them for situations like this? Wait, like this? What are you talking about? Guess it was all talk, eh? So he's encouraging people to pick up guns and be violent and create a violent insurrection in America. This is the most unhinged thing I've ever seen. This is something that would be condemned. If this was done under the Barack Obama administration by a Republican, they would have gotten banned from comic publishing forever. Instead, it's cheered on by these people. This is exactly who they are. They're completely mask off. These are a bunch of weirdos, and it's really, really scary. I mean, gosh, it makes me scared to go to a convention with these people. I mean, is this guy gonna light me up because he doesn't like my politics? You don't know, right? Crazy stuff. So it gets crazier in the comments. Those people still don't realize what's going on or think that this is a good thing. They're really dumb. Other people are afraid of repercussions. It's going to be things getting really bad for them to get off their sofas. And then Templesmith elaborates. That's just the masses, though. So many people have firearms. Not just the maggot faithful. All you need is a few loose cannons to ignite the flame. So he wants mentally ill people to get guns and, quote, ignite the flame for a civil war. This is a nutty person. These are the same people who are like, threat to democracy, threat to democracy. What is this? Isn't this a threat to democracy? People voted. You didn't like it. So you're threatening violence. You're encouraging people to do gun violence. This is nuts. This is evil. I've never seen anything like this on the right. Really not. And this is exactly like what is happening in the comic book industry, guys. This is exactly the type of toxic industry that they've cultivated by doing this stuff. 2 to 3 more Luigis, everything becomes crazy town. Once people can afford nothing, lose their jobs, it spreads pretty quick. Look at his sick fantasy for what he wants to happen to America. I'll note that Ben Templesmith is an Australian. He's not even an American citizen, and that's what makes this even worse. So we have foreign nationals acting like this over the election because they're a bunch of babies and they can't handle that, there was more people than them, democracy. This is what democracy looks like. And so they want to subvert democracy. They want to destroy democracy, all while shouting that, if you vote for this other guy, that's going to ruin democracy all last year. Isn't this ironic? It's absolutely crazy what this is going on. And but it's par for the course. This is exactly what I expect from the mainstream comic industry at this point, and this is why we are building an alternative, even though they try to hold us down, even though they try to mass flag us and report us just for existing, because they want us dead. This is very clear that they want us dead right here. We are still chugging along. We're doing great. We're crushing it with 450 backers, and we're building the next steps to a parallel economy here. Check this out, The Emerald Array, only on Fun by Comic. It's a beautiful book, guys. You're going to absolutely love this. I wrote this for you. It's high tea action and adventure, Space Marine action, 66 pages long for your enjoyment. Grab it in the description below while you still can, and tell your friends because they won't want to miss this either. We'll be back soon.